Welcome back to Uncontested Investing. I'm Tim Harris. Thank you so much for swinging back by. Don't forget, click below, like, subscribe, rate, review, comment. We like to know what you think. We like to answer your questions. I personally read them all. Today, a good friend of mine, Rafael Zabala, is with me. Rafa, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here with you, brother.
So I'm going to start off with telling everyone that you are yourself another former Marine. So thank you for your service in the Brotherhood. Why don't you just take a minute and tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Rafael Zabala. My friends call me Rafa, and for the last 20 years, I've been working on the edge of online marketing and how we can use online marketing to help businesses, investors, to be able to access more prospects, more clients, and in the process, be able to have greater efficiencies, such as automations and AI technology. It's absolutely incredible what's happening today, and I feel so lucky to be living in a time like today where technology is just exploding for our world.
Right.
Yeah.
So, as you know, I like to start with the bottom line up front. My old Marine Corps days, if you're briefing the general, you got to get the most important part out first in case he has to go. So I want you to take up to 2 minutes, the most important things that you see in today's economy, today's business landscape, things that you think people should be focused on, doing, avoiding, not doing, whatever. You good?
Good.
Go.
Guys, technology is accelerating in ways that we could have never, ever predicted. And that's making marketing both easier and harder at the same time, because it's giving more access to individuals to be able to go out there and market, which means that for you, you have to find a way to cut through the noise. And that is the most important thing that I see happening today. And that's done through brand, storytelling, and making sure that you are connecting with your prospects and helping them understand how you help to transform their lives.
So I don't mean to minimize all the other roles in business, but really and truly, sales and marketing is where it's at, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, because without sales, without marketing, without customers, there's just not a lot of business, is there?
No, there isn't.
So what got you into marketing, technology, automation? How did you, tell me a little bit what you did in the Marine Corps and then kind of how you found your way to your core focuses today.
Absolutely. So dumb luck, and I'm really grateful for it. I started my career as a Marine. I signed up open contracts. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, and I thought, what better way to go find out than to be of service? So I signed up open contract and ended up being an air traffic controller in the Marine Corps, which was an incredible experience. Incredible education, a lot of responsibility. And at the end of the day, I didn't really fully enjoy it though. I'm a people person. I love being around folks, and being in a tower for hours and hours and hours on end, just talking to a voice on the other line. While it was really cool, it didn't seem like it was something that I wanted to do forever. After the Marine Corps, I was lucky enough to be able to go to school and get my education in business information systems. And from there, I ended up working in a web hosting company right at the .com bubble burst, right? It was absolutely incredible.
Great timing.
Perfect timing. Because I'm working for a company that sells $500 a month web hosting at the time that companies were coming out with $1 a month web hosting companies offers. So a few of the young guys on that company reached out to me, and they're like, Rafa, we need to figure out what we're going to do. Would you be willing to sell SEO? And I'm like, what is SEO? But yeah, I'll sell it.
Yeah.
And that was my introduction to search engine optimization. At that time, Google was just about 4 years old. And I had the blessing and opportunity to then grow up with the search engines, essentially. You know, and bringing me all the way through here. From SEO, we learned online website design to CRMs and marketing automation, and then the explosion of social media came online.
And now you live in Atlanta.
That's right.
And you work with a gentleman named Peter.
That's correct.
At a company called, I think, Partner Driven.
That's right.
I know Peter's borrowed some money from RCN, but I also know that you guys have these hundreds and hundreds of students, and it's a software technology-based platform. Can you talk a little bit about what you guys do at Partner Driven?
Absolutely. So Partner Driven was a dream for us that came together with the concept of what if we could partner with individuals. Prior to that, I had a hard money lending company for about 2 years. I had hair at the beginning of that. like decided that that was not my path.
I was skinny when I started being a lender.
Sounds like things are going well. And so I was lucky. We didn't lose money, even though people stole from us. It was a mess. And I got out of it, saving the money that we had. All the money was returned to our investors. We actually made some money along the way, but I was like, this is not right. We have to find a better way to do this. Because what I found was that people that were finding good deals, right, but they weren't qualified to manage that deal. So in my head, I was like, well, what if I could find these guys? These guys are out there, they're hustling, they want to make something happen. They're finding good deals, but they don't have the experience to really take care of that deal. What if I could partner them with an experienced real estate investor? And that's where the idea was born on my side of it. And I started looking around. I said, well, who else is thinking about it? One of the things I've noticed in my life is that when I get an idea, I'm not the first one. Someone else has thought of it already. So I started looking around, and I came across my partner, Peter Vexelman's ad online in saying that he partners with folks. I was like, that's it. Let's do it. So we connected, him and Julie Muse, our other partner, and we decided to rebrand everything that we're doing, and we build out the brand Partner Driven. So Partner Driven now is a nationwide real estate partnering and coaching program where we coach individuals how to find the deals, how to negotiate the deals, and then to bring them back to us.
Right.
At that point, we take over the deal with them along so they can learn with us. But we fund the deal by us, right? And then at the end of the deal, we split the profits 50-50 when we disposition. And it's great. It's a beautiful model. In addition to that, we've had to find ways to help our partners to be more successful. And that's what really kind of threw us into the technology world and building out technology. We've built out a software called dealdriven.com, and dealdriven.com it started as a driving for dollars app, and it turned into so much more. We have access to all the homeowner data in the United States. We're able to build lists, stack lists, be able to send direct mail directly from it, begin to contact individuals from there. And it's been a huge, huge help for our community, because a lot of folks, the first step in your journey is how to find a good deal. And not just a good deal, an off-market deal. So we built that software. And then in addition to that, it's like, well, now we were helping them generate thousands of leads from the software. How do we help them contact these individuals? So we built out our Deal Engine CRM, which lives on top of the High Level platform. I know that you're familiar with it. Probably a lot of the viewers have been hearing about High Level. I'm a huge fan. I'm a fanboy for 100%.
You recently got some award from High Level, right? You were like the guy of the year or something. What was it?
So a SaaSpreneur Award.
SaaSpreneur. That's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was me and 27 other people that received this award. It was the first time they presented that award. And it's for the work that we've done and being able to then create a platform where we are providing licenses to our students. So we built out our own CRM, and in the process, for our students, we give them then their own license so they can build their own business under it. Of course, it comes baked in with all of the goodies that we've created, our sequences, our text messaging, our emails, and they're able to use it for themselves, and they're able to grow a team for themselves within the platform, which was our dream from the get-go. We want people to be able to leverage other folks, leverage our money, leverage our knowledge so that they can scale.
And so how many student partners do you guys have today?
About 800.
About 800?
Yeah.
And how many deals will y'all do this year within that community, I would say?
Yeah, so I'm not sure, to be honest with you, what this year is going to look like, right? But we're doing several hundred deals every quarter, and hoping that we continue to grow.
Where you guys are not doing everything for them, but you're doing several hundred deals a quarter where they're bringing you the deals, and then you're taking over, making sure it's done right, and then they get half the profit.
That's right.
All right, so it's safe to say you'll do some over 500 this year.
That's the goal for certain.
Now, are those fix and flips or rentals?
So we're doing mostly is wholesale, and fix and flips, right?
So I thought this market was dead and you can't make money today. Is that true?
Absolutely not.
So where are you making money? I mean, is it that you just are able to get these deals like cheaper than everybody else? Is it that you know the right geographies to go to? What's the secret sauce? Because I know a lot of people that want to flip that say that you can't right now because interest rates are high or values are going down. Where's the magic in that?
So for us, our magic is in numbers, right? Because our partners are spread out nationwide. So we're able to, in numbers, there's strength.
Yeah.
And we're able to, through their efforts that we coach them through, be able to find hot opportunities that if it was just us three on our own by ourselves with a call center, it'd just be close to impossible, right? There is something to be said to have boots on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you've learned that in the military, and this is the same model that we're following.
Well, even when we had Dallas Tanner, the CEO of Invitation Homes, on the show earlier this year, he talked about when they got beyond Phoenix back in 2012, the first thing he did was go to markets and find operators that could actually run the operation there, right? Like with experience in the market, boots on the ground. I mean, So I think all this, I see a lot of people doing virtual real estate these days. And the ones that are really successful in the virtual, we'll call it fix and flip or ownership space, not just wholesaling, they've got an on-the-ground partner that is running that market.
100%. You can't beat that, right? From a virtual perspective, there's a lot of things that we can do virtually now. Thank God for all of the technology we have. But you can't beat someone being able to be there and actually knock on the asset and be able to say, hey, this is legit, this is real, we've kind of reviewed it. And they kind of take us on with us. So they're on their phone with FaceTime, and we have our coaches and our teams, and we're along with them. So it's kind of blend of virtual plus like in place.
You gotta love technology. So we're gonna take a quick break. We'll come back. I want to talk about some marketing trends and kind of demographics and where you see the industry going. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for fast funding for your next fix and flip? What about leverage for your next long-term rental or vacation rental? Need capital for a new construction project? Look no further. RCN Capital has you covered. As the leading nationwide lender for real estate investors, RCN Capital offers short-term and long-term financing solutions for your next investment property. RCN Capital takes a common-sense approach to your loan request, offering high leverages and low rates backed by superior customer service. Whether you're investing in single-family properties or multifamily properties across the U.S., RCN Capital has funding options for you with no hoops to jump through and quick closings in as little as 2 weeks. Ready to get a quote for your next investment property? Visit rcncapital.com/podcast to apply today. There is no fee to apply. Again, that's rcncapital.com/podcast to apply today.
Welcome back to Uncontested Investing. I'm Tim Harris. I'm still here with my buddy Rafa. Rafa, you mentioned earlier that your software started out as kind of a driving for dollars software. And you said direct mail. And it's one of those debates that I keep hearing over and over and over in this industry. Someone will say direct mail is dead, but that's because they want to sell you PPC leads, right? Or PPC is overpriced, but that's because they want to sell you direct mail or cold calling or SMS blast. But if you think about it, when you got into this business, like you said, Google was 4 years old. There was the big the search engine that had the three-headed monster. I can't remember what it was called. There was Ask Jeeves. Yahoo search was a big thing. And now, clearly, Google owns that space. But it's interesting. 20 years ago, you would not have talked about PPC. No. You would not have talked about SMS text blasting. You definitely couldn't have talked about ringless voicemail or cold calling. Well, actually, cold calling was a thing back then. But it's interesting to me, as our target audience as home buyers ages, now you have some of these 50, 60-year-old people that maybe want to sell an estate or a house they haven't kept up with that are used to the technology. Whereas direct mail, I guess the reason that works so much the last 20 years is a lot of times you were targeting boomers that weren't real tech savvy. But now I'm 45, and by the time I'm 65, I mean, I bet we don't even have mail. How have you morphed as a marketer in managing and determining which outreach method is best for your target audience or your customers?
So at the end of the day, we work on all platforms. I think it's really important that one is not better than the other, right? And what we're trying to do is to get them to move cross-channel, right?
Right.
The more touches that we have, the better. As I mentioned earlier, my career started and it's been almost 100% digital. Digital has been my world. If you were to ask me 5 years ago, Rafa, what do you think about direct mail? I've been like, but today I think about it differently because we have the opportunity to connect direct mail to technology.
Right.
We have the opportunity to connect direct mail to what's happening with our other platforms by being able to retarget individuals and begin to move them through our different platforms so that they can get to know us, get to know the message, what makes us unique in the marketplace. And I think that's one of the greatest challenges that any business is going to be facing here in the next few years. And it has to do with how do you make yourself stand out? How do you make yourself unique? And so direct mail has the advantage that once it gets into their house, until they throw it away, it's sitting there. Right? You can't turn off direct mail.
Right.
There's no...
Can't skip it.
You can't skip. That's right. You can't scroll by it. Of course, you kind of do. But then that piece stays there.
Right.
I think that the opportunities with direct mail then is how do you connect it to the rest of the things that are happening? So if and when they interact with it, either via a phone call or maybe a QR code and they land on your page or they trigger any activity that we can track, then to move them into our other marketing platforms. It's like, great, they just looked at our landing page. Let's make sure that we're retargeting them on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, right? To make sure that they know who we are, that we're professional, that we're not just some greedy investor out there that's trying to connect with them, that we actually are here, that we care, and that we're here to help them.
So are you doing that for yours and Peter's business, or are you doing that for your partners, your customers' businesses?
So we're doing that currently for more of our side, our business. For our customers and our partners, we continue to focus on just going out, cold calling, direct mail to directly to them and letting them set the appointments. Yeah. We're looking for ways. For us, it's been a challenge to help our partners fully understand the power of technology.
Yeah. A
lot of the people that we work with have, hearts of gold. They have the desire for success, but from a technology perspective, quite unsophisticated. So it's really, in the last few years, it's turned into my mission on how I can help people understand this technology. Because once you do, it's really easy. But if it's new to you, it's quite foreign. CRMs, marketing automations, voicemail drops, SMS blasts, all that stuff for people like us, it's kind of like second nature. Yeah. But for a lot of folks, it really makes their head spin. So for our partners, we try to keep it as simple as possible and are continuing to educate them and helping them graduate one step at a time.
We need your help. Wherever you are, stop what you're doing right now and rate us on whatever platform you're listening on. Take a screenshot of your review and click the link in the description for your chance to win some uncontested investing AirPods. A winner will be picked on July 11th. In my house buying business, which is still very active in DFW, we tend to lean really heavily on direct mail.
Yeah.
And it's the way I've always done it. But then I go to some conferences and I hear people like you say, cookie them up when they visit the landing page and then follow them around the internet.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing you talk about that and I'm like, I am not retargeting anyone that hits my website right now. Like my personal website. We do it at RCN, and I was like, okay, this is the third time I've heard that in like the last 3 weeks. Tim, you need to go do it. But then the problem as an investor, and I want you to talk about this, is if you call a normal marketing company, for some reason they act like we're some sort of unicorn. Like they don't really understand our business, or they think that we have millions of dollars a month to spend. And then there's a lot of these other vendors that are specifically targeted our space that I think you may not be getting the leverage you need if you really want to be a successful business. So if there's a company out there, a small investor that is hearing this and thinking, man, that's right, I should put a QR code on my mail and then retarget them if they scan it, what steps should they take to start doing that in there? Should they call a marketing company? Should they just get on Google AdWords and do it themselves? What should they do?
So I think it's really important for people to take ownership of this knowledge. I think that it's a mistake to try to right off the bat say someone else is going to take care of it for me, because without you understanding it, then you don't know what you're getting. And I think that in marketing, there's a lot of snake oil that's sold as well. And so first and foremost, you have to understand what's going on. And I think, like I mentioned earlier, we live in such an amazing time that you can get access to this information for free. The YouTube University is definitely the place. It's a wonderful place. And some people say, no, don't go to YouTube. You're going to get confused. No, go learn. There's people giving out this information for free. In addition to that, then the platforms provide free training as well. And I think that it's important for, as individuals and business owners and solopreneurs, to go through that track.
Don't skip the tour.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I just, it blows my mind, and my wife does this a lot, and I love you, Jennifer. I mean, she'll sign up for something and say, I don't understand it. And I'm like, well, did you, like, go through the onboarding, like the tour, the welcome, the video, the explainer? No, I want it done. It's like, oh my God. I mean, just go through the tour. The person that made the software is ready to teach you how to use it. Just go through the tour.
100%. So in Facebook, now Meta, they have something called Meta Blueprint.
Okay.
Meta Blueprint is free training that's available for all marketers and business owners.
Write that down.
Yeah, and it's absolutely incredible. Not only can they provide the free training, if you go through it, you can get certified. And I find it so interesting that so few people have gone through that process, right? In both Meta and Google provides training as well. Because for you to begin to understand everything that's possible, you do have to go through the tour, because it's so much bigger than what you think it is, right? Because it's not just Facebook, it's Facebook and Instagram. It's not just Facebook and Instagram, but then it's Messenger and DM.
Right.
These are all inside the platforms, and they're there for us to use, and it's free.
And it's not that hard.
It's not
like
that hard.
we were in a mastermind together this week, the Investor Fuel, and one of the gentlemen, impressive young man named Matt, 32 years old, already owns 198 rental properties, just crushing it, in the process of removing himself out of his business. But one of his challenges was hiring and training a good executive administrative assistant. And he's hired some, and the training's not going well. And I just kind of raised my hand. I was like, Matt, have you ever been an EA? He goes, no. I said, has the person you hired ever been an EA? I said, no. I said, so this is your fault. It's the blind leading the blind. Like, how can you train her to be an EA if you haven't been one and you've never had one and she's never been one? Like, and so I just really quickly Googled, there's EA training at the community colleges, like in his hometown, in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So I was like, Matt, if you really believe in investing in your people and growing this, like, either A, you got to get rid of that person, then hire someone with 10 years experience of being an executive administrative assistant, or send them to college, send them to training. Like, people, the point is, there's a lot of free training, but there's also a lot of paid training. And I'm one of those people that I just believe in investing in your own education and future, because if you don't do it, no one else will.
No one else cares. And that's a great piece of advice. I'm writing that down in my head right now. It's like, I need to do that, because I've had some of those challenges as well. And it's really interesting how easy it is to see it in your own world. And it's like, hey, why don't people do this for marketing? And then how you make the same mistakes yourself when you step out of your world of expertise.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, recently in my wholesale business, it's become a little difficult to, flip wholesale houses for as much money as we were the last couple of years. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do some more owner financing. It's a great cash flow tool. It's a great way to put some cash in the bank with down payments and stuff. I know everyone. I know Nick. I know Eddie. I can get them to do things for me that the general public can't. But I called Eddie Speed and said, Eddie, what course do you have that I could refresh my knowledge on this? And he told me about this recorded master class he had. And I went and paid him a couple $100. And I sat there on a Saturday and watched it, refreshed my knowledge, right? Nick Lagama, am I say it right?
I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
We'll just call it Nick.
Nick the Note Guy.
Yeah, Nick the Note Guy.
That's how I know him.
I've got this note that I just did that I'm going to sell to him. Yeah. And he was like giving me all these ways I could go from 92 cents on the dollar to 95 cents on the dollar. And I said, Nick, here's the deal. Buy it from me for 92 and help me through this one. You go make a bunch of money, and then let's just work together. Like, I'm basically willing to pay him extra to help me kind of reestablish that too many people worry about what things cost, not what they can make.
Yeah.
Is I guess the angle where I'm going with this. Your coaching program. So do you take people from 0 to 60, or do you like them with a little bit of experience? Can you tell me about kind of your ideal client on that?
Yeah, so we are a focus on the 0 to 60. Folks that want to get into real estate, they want to avoid the pitfalls, right? As you know, coming into real estate, a mistake can be very costly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so what we do by funding it ourselves and taking responsibility for the underwriting and the disposition, we take the risk out of it for them. Right? And that creates a really, really powerful offer for them, right? A value message for them.
Uncontested Investing is giving away AirPods. All you have to do is leave a review on any of our platforms. Take a screenshot and click the link in the description for your chance to win. We will pick a winner on July 11th. So they, I would imagine, pay to join your program, and then they go through some training, and then they're ready to kind of start doing deals. But, you know, what a great deal. I tell people all the time, too, it's so funny. We meet these people at the masterminds, and they're like, oh, I'm going to send you this loan I've been thinking about doing it. And it's always the one that everyone else said no to.
Yeah.
Right? And the first one's always the one that everyone else said no to. One piece of advice I want to give the audience is whether you're working with someone like Rafa or borrowing money from someone like RCN, if someone with a lot of experience, knowledge, and resources says, no, don't do the deal, put your ego aside and listen. It's probably the best advice you're going to get. And I was talking to some guys from Kansas City yesterday, and I was talking about sometimes I'll wholesale a house even for a loss because I realized my acquisition people made a mistake. And I'm not one of those. I don't renegotiate. I don't break contracts. If we screw up, we're going to own it, right? That's our reputation. That's frankly the only way you get to do this for 23 years in the same town with the same company name. 25 years actually. But he's like, well, we're not to the point where we can do that yet. So what do you mean? He goes, well, we don't have really 5 or 10 grand. We don't have that deep of pockets that we could just bring that to lose it. I said, so you would rather sign a personal guarantee, borrow a couple $100,000, and then lose thousands of dollars a month indefinitely? He goes, never thought of it like that. I was like, yeah, I mean, like, own your mistakes, get out of them, and listen to wise advice. Because if I'm a student partner of yours and I bring you a deal and you're like, no, this isn't a good deal, and then I want to go try to do it myself, like, that's just, it's insanity, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it opens you up to challenges. Like it could really go wrong. And that's what we're trying to avoid for our students when they come to us.
But you're not perfect. Sometimes things can go wrong.
Oh, no, absolutely. Like to your point, I love what you just said. Yeah, deals go south.
Yeah.
We lose money on deals sometimes. And we just have to take our medicine and we take it fast. I've always believed in fail fast so you can move forward and learn. Because the longer that you push off that lesson, the more costly that lesson is going to be.
The folks at Blackstone, when we were running B2R Finance, I'll never forget, one day I'm on the street corner with Jazz Cara, and we just finished lunch, and I was talking about, I wasn't sure about some things that they were asking us to do, and I didn't want to put our capital at risk. And he goes, Tim, we don't expect you to be perfect. As a matter of fact, we know that we will be wrong most likely 30% of the time. The key is acknowledging when you're wrong and stopping whatever you're doing that's wrong. And so many of us try to, I say this a lot on the show, you can't rehab your way out of a bad buy, right? Like, I mean, once you have a problem, that problem's there. And you're either going to pay daily, monthly, weekly, annually for that problem, or you're going to go ahead and cut your losses, move on with a clear mind to where you can then go do something really profitable.
Absolutely. Yeah, my father taught me that lesson growing up. He said, Rafa, if your hand is doing something wrong, just cut it off.
Right?
Right?
Well, we don't want to cut your hand off.
No.
But we're going to take a break. We'll come back, do the Money Minute, then get into some rapid fire. Stick around. We'll be right back.
REI Inc. is a monthly business publication for real estate investors, covering all types of real estate investments and strategies. It is the most comprehensive real estate investment publication on the market. All of the articles are written by the top leaders in the industry, so investors are assured of always getting the best information possible. Each month, REI Inc. also profiles the top companies in the industry and provides insights and data into key regional markets. Along with their sister platforms, the REI Referral Network and Highest Invest, real estate investors have exclusive access to off-market investment opportunities and national acquisition and disposition initiatives. To learn more, visit www.rei-inc.com, where you can also access the REI Referral Network. Also, be sure and visit www.highest-and-best.com to view the latest exclusive off-market assets with near immediate acceptance decisions and closing strategies. You can also email marketing@rei-referralnetwork.com to request more information.
Welcome back to Uncontested Investing. I'm Tim Harridge. I'm still here with Rafa. Don't forget, click below, like, subscribe, share, comment, rate, review. Let us know what you think. Rafa, it's time for the Money Minute. This is the most powerful segment of the show. I love listening to it every week. 60 seconds. Imagine there's someone out there that this is the only advice they're going to get all month. You ready?
Ready.
Go.
Marketing is all about your offer. 80% of success of all marketers have is about creating a unique offer that communicates the value that you have to provide to your prospects. If you don't find a way to differentiate yourself from your offer, then you're just going to be part of the pack. It's very easy to change the offer. See what everyone else is doing, add to it, change it, twist it. How can you make yourself different? That's going to make the biggest change for you in your marketing.
Well, that's great stuff. And I want to go ahead and go into rapid fire. And I put this up on the screen. You referred to yourself as a marketer, investor, and mentor. What do you like the most about being a marketer?
Wow, every day is a challenge. I love all of the new innovations that are taking place in marketing, in the creativity that comes along with it. Because in marketing, it's not just about putting ads out, it's about connecting with people. And I find that to be like the most beautiful thing that you can do in life.
You're really just a translator. I mean, you know what you want to offer, and you've got to make sure that you can convey that to where it makes sense to the customer.
Absolutely. And not just myself, but the people that I work with.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of brilliant people that don't understand that they have gold, right? They don't see it because they don't see it themselves. They don't understand what makes them unique. And so my job is to interpret that, to find it, to help them tweak their offer with that goal that they have.
And the next one says investor. Clearly, you're a partner in partner-driven, and you're partnering with people to fix and flip and wholesale and all that. Do you do any other kind of investing?
Yes, absolutely. My goal is to partner with individuals and businesses and to be able to invest into businesses, provide our resources, provide our knowledge, and be able to share in the growth and reward.
At Family Mastermind, you were sharing, it was called the appointment something. What was it called?
Appointment Machine.
Yeah, what's that?
Appointmentmachine.ai is our white label of Go High Level, where we have baked in all of our processes and that we've learned that help us deep nurture individuals and drive them to schedule a call. It's really powerful. We're booking about 3,000 appointments a month right now for our teams.
Wow.
And I decided just to put that together to share it with our community.
I love it. And then mentor. Why do you consider yourself a mentor?
For me, I was really lucky that people took me under their wing, right? My whole life, my father taught me to listen more than I speak, and to find people that know more than I do.
Right.
And because of that, it's helped me. It's accelerated my success. I feel that in the world that we have today, I think the youth have a lot of challenges in front of them. In a world where everything is possible, how do you pick? Right? And so I feel like there is a lot of there's a bit of confusion out there, and I love to be able to pass it forward like it was passed on to me to other individuals, right? And be able to mentor them in their success.
When I feel like personally, I'm big into giving it to the youth because I kind of grew up in that divorced family thing, and I love coaching youth sports because at one point in my life, my dad wasn't really around, and I didn't have a stepdad. And so, like, when I started tackle football, my mom drops me off at practice, and I'm holding these shoulder pads and helmets and stuff. I don't know how to put them on. And she's just like, I don't know either. Go ask a coach. Like, I'm the kid walking across the field. And now that I coach, I see that. I see the kid that doesn't have a father, you know, or maybe may have a father, but just doesn't care or understand. And I take great pride and pleasure in going out there and helping that young man, trying to instill confidence in him. But then also, I think there's so much misinformation and echo out there these days. To have a successful level-headed person that you can ask questions to is a resource that a lot of people still don't have.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I've realized as I've been mentoring is how much you get, right? There's something to be said about a different perspective, fresh blood that really invigorates and gives you ideas that you would have never had before. And I really understand why those people helped me along the way.
Yeah.
While I know that I've received so much from them, I can see now that I also gave back to them too. Right?
I have a coaching program for a small group of people, and it's just amazing the thoughts and things that come out of those calls for myself, for my own business, right? Like,
yes.
I do my best to help them through their next kind of challenge, but then it opens your eyes to maybe some things that you're not doing. So I think, anytime you can get in a room or on a call with someone and have frank, candid conversations, it just helps everyone involved.
Absolutely. I found if you share what you have and don't hold back, people are going to do that too.
That's right. So here we are. It's 2023. Partner Driven's nationwide. You'll do over 500 transactions this year. What's kind of the goal? Where are we taking this?
Yeah, so the goal is to continue to develop software and technology to help our partners increase that, right? Because we see that there's a great opportunity today as we're seeing the development of AI and how AI is coming into our world. Man, I've been on top of that for the last year, and it's just mind-blowing.
How are you leveraging AI?
In multiple different ways. So initially, we started working with AI from a content generation perspective, and I think that's the way that a lot of people are using it, and I think it's a great way to use it. It's incredibly powerful. But in that way, it's also limited too. As a copywriter, I love using AI to help me get ideas and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, persuasion and really connecting still takes a little bit of work, right?
Right.
But that's not the only way that we use AI. We started using AI about last year, specifically with Google Dialogflow, to help us book appointments and have conversations. So the AIs about a year ago were already smart enough to be able to review my calendar or review our partners' calendars and be like, hey, these are the times that are available, and have a conversation with someone via SMS, via a web chat widget, or via the social, to be able to then identify, it's like, hey, we have available, when would you like to do it? Tuesday or Thursday? I think I'm interested in Friday instead. Okay, Friday I have available 10, 10:30, and 11. Which one works out for you? None of those. Okay, would the afternoon work? Like, the AI is incredibly smart and powerful to do that. And so this was the first round with Google Dialogflow, and I know they're continuing to develop. But then in just the last few months with ChatGPT and what's happening with ChatGPT, it's incredibly powerful, because what these guys did with OpenAI is made it so easy for people like you and me, creators, to be able to connect their engine to our software. Right. And so this is what I'm looking at next, because I see not only from a sales perspective, a booking calls perspective, customer support, I think is really powerful. And from a coaching, for all of our friends in info products and coaching, what I'm most excited about is then being able to grab your knowledge. Imagine Eddie Speed. This man knows more than he's forgotten more than I'm ever going to learn.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine him being
about notes.
About notes.
Yeah.
Imagine him being able to grab his courses and his 40 years of experience, right? And let the AI read it. And now this is what's happening next with AutoGPT and other tools that are coming out, that we're going to be able to pass on our knowledge and put it into the AI, and then the AI basically turn into a super FAQ/coach and be able to answer your students on the spot. So imagine on your phone, you have a community and be like, hey, I'm really confused about this aspect of notes, and just send a text and immediately get a response based off of the knowledge and experience and wisdom of someone like an Eddie Speed or a Lou Brown or someone, these guys that really have been around and been doing it for a long time, and immediately be able to service your students, your partners like that.
So I have always wanted to write a book, and I have written half of 3 books. I would do the outlines, and I would kind of do intro paragraphs, and I would finish one chapter and not the next one. And recently, now with like the Amazon, it's called KDP, where you can just direct publish anything you want. And my wife said she's big. She's been into AI for 6-8 months. And I didn't even know it. One day we're sitting on the couch. She's like, "Oh, well, let me see what Chat GPT says." I was like, "How do you know about that?" And she's on her phone using the app. So she took that book, and I had one of them. It was already I think 18,000 words or something like that. And she loaded it in and basically told one of the programs to finish it for me. And now it's 35,000 words. And now I'm like, oh crap, the book's done. Now I got to publish it. But in going back through it, it's been interesting. It doesn't do it for you, but it sure does help you get a lot of it done. Because we got to go through and make sure that number one, it's still accurate of my opinion, but number two, that it's still in my voice.
100%. And I think that what's important, and I think the mistake that a lot of people do is to just let it do 100% of the work all at one time. I think that if we break it up into smaller pieces, right, focusing on first come up with your framework. And by the way, ChatGPT can help you come up with that framework. Right. Hey, I'm going to teach this course. What should be the titles of the different chapters of this course, right? Let me let it help you brainstorm what that might look like. Once you have that, it's okay, now I have this piece. Let's focus on the first part. What would be the 5 things that I need to make sure to cover on this part of the course? Well, these are the 5 things. Now I have, and you can see that what I'm doing first and foremost is letting it help me build an outline.
A framework.
In a framework, absolutely. Because then at that point, as I begin to build the framework, then I can put the framework back in one chapter at a time, one course at a time, and be able to watch it create and correct it as I'm going. Because then it learns from your corrections. Particularly ChatGPT in one conversation will remember everything that's going on. So as you correct it, it remembers that, and then it takes what it's learning to the next chapters that you're writing, if you do it one at a time. If you do it all at one time, it's just going to do the best that it can, right? And
it's like telling a kid to ride a bike without teaching him how to ride a bike first. It's going to try, but probably going to be in the hospital. Which web-based version do you like of the AI? What's your favorite these days?
So I'm still 100% on ChatGPT, right? And the 3.0 and the 4.0 is absolutely incredible. And I'm looking at all of the different creators that are out there right now that are integrating ChatGPT with their frameworks and what they're looking at. So I'm still in a discovery phase. I mean, it's the wild, wild west of this. It's incredible how many people are creating right now. And there's no doubt that they're actually using ChatGPT to create the new versions, because it will actually create code for you. It's absolutely incredible. You can use a ChatGPT 4.0 and take a picture of the stuff inside of your fridge and say, create a healthy recipe for me with what's available in my fridge. It's wild.
That is just insane.
It's absolutely insane. So I think that I hope that people use it for good. Yeah. Right? I hope they use it to make a positive impact. I hope they use it to help better themselves. Earlier, you said how important it is to continue education, and we were talking about the meta trainings or buying training. Today, when I'm doing a training, which I love to do, I love to continue to learn, I actually have ChatGPT open at the same time that I'm doing that training, and as I'm learning and I have questions or I have ideas or I have things, I'm actually putting it into it. And so my prompt to ChatGPT in a situation like this is, I want you to pretend that you're my professor for this course, right? And I want you to help me study and learn everything that I could from it, including additional resources that I can find or different frameworks that I can use. Go. And so as I am, it's okay, well, what questions do you have? As the course is going on, I'm pumping back into it. It's incredible. It's fascinating.
Well, that is the perfect solid gold advice to end on. This is where I ask everyone last time, any parting thoughts or parting shots? Everybody gets intrigued by the shots part. They're like, "Ooh, yeah."
Yeah. Well, from a marketing perspective, right, own it. Go out and learn it. There's never been a more powerful time in our lives that we have that access to all of this information. As you learn it, you're going to be able to pass it on. As you're able to pass it on, you're going to be able to scale.
Well, man, I really appreciate you being here. I know you're due on a stage in 45 minutes, so we're going to get you out of here. Thank you so much for being here. We'll get all your information in the show notes. We're out of time. Thank you for stopping back by. We appreciate all of you and the feedback and the comments we get. Remember, your network is your net worth, and today you've been growing both. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Uncontested Investing Show. Questions about today's episode or the podcast? Email podcast@rcncapital.com and make sure to follow RCN Capital on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. See you all next time. The preceding program is furnished by RCN Capital LLC. The information provided is for general education purposes only and does not constitute any legal, financial, investment, or other professional advice. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by any speaker are the speaker's own opinion and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of RCN Capital LLC. No information contained in this episode should be construed as financial, investment, or legal advice from RCN or any individual, author, host, or guest. You should always consult a financial advisor before investing.